Humphrey. I am the pet lady, and we are here to celebrate National Dog Day. So we're so excited. I woof you here at Chateau Le Woof. There's a couple topics we're going to cover today, so hopefully you have your listening ears on. We're going to talk about animal health and wellness, as well as fostering and adoption. So to join us on this amazing panel today, we have two guest experts. We have Dr. Christina Rahm, CEO and DRC Ventures, health and wellness expert, author and serial entrepreneur, and co-founder of Bill & Coo Pet Product Brand. So welcome, Dr. Christina. Thank you so much for being here. And we also have Elizabeth Shafiroff, founder of Global Strays, a global nonprofit that focuses on the root of animal welfare. So welcome to both of you. And let's jump right in. So as we're here on National Pet Day, it's a chance to think about all of the pets that are orphaned out there that maybe haven't had a chance to have the attention that they deserve. So we'll start with Dr. Christina. What are some 3 healthy tips that people can make sure that their pets are eating well and eating healthy?
So I'm going to expand a little bit, if you don't mind, on eating. And I want everyone to know that with they really do need to sleep and eat and not be around stress like the rest of us. I know you know that. And I just want everyone to understand when you prepare food or give them food, make sure that you remember that these other things are important. So dogs should eat at least twice a day, but it is okay to do 3 times a day. That's one of the tips I would say. Also, when they're eating, please give them their space and make sure they're not stressed, because if they eat while they're stressed, we know as scientists that their body basically does not digest it as well, and a lot of people don't understand that. The third thing that I would say is you really do have to make sure that they have the right combination of protein, carbs, and fiber. You know, cats, for example, are carnivores. Dogs do love protein, and they need at least 18 grams or more a day, but they also like to have vitamins, minerals, and herbs and plants. So that's something that's really important for people to remember about their dogs.
Beautiful, thank you. And Liz, what can you tell us about the joy of fostering? How can people kind of lean into discovering that joy?
So, I can tell you fostering is a very fulfilling experience because you are saving a life by fostering. You're making room for another dog or cat that can be pulled from an animal shelter. And every rescue is different, so we can definitely talk about that. But I would say, there are things to consider before fostering that we could talk about, but it's very fulfilling to know that you've saved a life, and that of course there's foster failures where you adopt the dog that you're fostering and you can get attached to, but that can be the beauty of it for people.
So I guess before we jump into the joy of fostering, could you tell us a little bit about fostering and how it works for people who are maybe unclear?
Sure. So the way fostering works is you would contact an animal rescue organization and they would match you with the appropriate pet that you would like to foster. And every rescue is different. Some rescues, they give you a time. We only need you to foster for 2 weeks. Some, say a month. Some say we don't know. It's until the dog gets adopted. So you have to really bring in questions. If you're considering fostering, you have to bring a list of questions. You have to research the rescue organization. You have to talk with them. And you also have to consider the pets currently in your home. You want to make sure that the pet you have, if it's dog aggressive or anxious, that it's the right fit for your home. One very important thing to remember about fostering is that it takes an animal anywhere from a few weeks to a month to decompress, especially if it's coming out of a shelter system or we don't know any type of situation. The animal whether it's a dog or cat, it needs a stress-free environment without lots of stimulation for at least a few weeks to a month, and every dog is different. Some will be, feeling good right away, and others, it takes time, it takes patience, and so, and then if you're fostering a puppy, you have to be home quite most of the time. Where if you're fostering an older dog, you may be, you'll be able to go to work and go out and probably come home. But it's always good to remember that an animal could be coming from a traumatic situation, and it takes time for them to decompress. And so you can't just say, oh, I'm going to foster and the dog is going to be okay within a week, so things like that.
So whether we're talking about food or fostering, it's about de-stressing, decompressing. And so I have another question for you, Dr. Rahm. We have this expression, you are what you eat. Is that also true for our dogs?
Yes, I think, I was a psychologist before I was a doctor and a scientist, so I always look at animals. I say this a lot, I love animals sometimes, not more than humans, but I love them so much, and what they eat is so important, and how they eat it, it really is significant. I tell people all the time, you worry about what your kids eat, why would you not be equally worried about what your animals are eating? It's such an important part of their bodies. Animals actually sweat through their feet. Dogs do. I don't know if people know that. They have 3 eyelids, for example. They are different than us, but the nutrients they need in order to even sweat appropriately or get rid of toxins, because when they sweat, they get rid of the toxins that are from the environment. Our animals are around the grass, which has pollution and pesticide and everything else. So what they're eating as far as probiotics or greens to help get rid of the toxins is extremely important. They have more cancer than humans because we're not feeding them right and we're not letting them detox and sweat right. So it is very, very important, the nutrients that they eat and the protein, and that it's clean. You don't want to just make fried chicken, for example, for dogs. You want it to be healthy. So that's something people really do need to remember. You don't want them to be overweight. You need to look at their calories and make sure that you're treating them like the beautiful souls that they are.
So back to you with Global Strays. So learning about food and how important it is about nutrition, it can maybe seem expensive to have an animal or to foster a pet. Is there any financial benefit or kind of systems in place that can help aid with being a foster parent for a dog or a cat?
Okay, so this is a good question. This is dependent on the rescue you choose. So there's certain, in my opinion, they all 100% should be responsible for any veterinarian care that comes along with while the animal you're fostering is with you. Any emergency, any regular veterinarian care, that should not fall on the foster parent. Now, whether the financial responsibility of food, toys, bed, etc. would be covered by the rescue varies. So you have to bring the questions to the rescue, and if the rescue can't, doesn't offer that, that doesn't mean they're a bad rescue or anything like that. Just, maybe they don't do that. But the veterinarian care, they must cover. They must have a vet that they go to, and they should let you know what that vet is. So it is a financial responsibility, but there are rescues that maybe would pay for food and everything else. So I wouldn't, I guess you would have to ask each rescue.
Case by case. All right, sounds good. So for people who are really concerned about the health and wellness of their pet and want to make sure they're giving them the best ingredients possible, are there any tips on reading a label and having, a little bit more insight onto what those labels mean?
Yes. So you want to look for preservatives and you want to look for fillers. So a lot of the brands that are trying to save money will put a lot of fillers in their food that are really horrible. They cause diabetes. People don't sit there and think, wait, I'm giving my dog diabetes, but that can happen if you give them the wrong food. So there's different brands that have really focused on healthy living, like the Farmer's Dog, there's different brands that understand that they don't want to give just junk. And I say it again, I had 4 children. I grew up on a farm with animals. My husband's parents were veterinarians, and I say constantly, listen, this is like a child, this is your responsibility, and that means you treat them as good as a human. Our brand that we worked on, for example, we use human grade food. We do not use some of your animal brands, I'm going to say this so everyone knows, some of your animal supplements and some of your animal foods do not use human grade substances the same way. They don't have the same quality of meat, same quality of vitamins, same quality of plants. So you really have to know what you're giving your animals. When you read that label, if you see that there are fillers and there's dyes and there's lots of wheat and lots of things that they don't need, like they need some rice or some animals, depends on the brand, are good with those, but some aren't. You really have to watch their diet, and I loved what you brought up about the different about the different breeds, because it does matter what breed you have and how much food you feed them. You don't give a teacup Yorkie, for example, tons of food in the morning and tons of food at night. You make sure that you also look at the amount you're giving each dog, and I think that's very important, and a lot of people don't understand that, so I hope that they do realize that it is important to look at that, how much you're giving the dog and then what's actually on the label.
Awesome. I'd love to do a quick show of hands. Who here treats their pets like their children? So I think you can relate. So another question for you. Could you just tell us a little bit about global strays for maybe people who are like, wow, fostering sounds really interesting. Maybe I'd like to foster with global strays or learn more. Can you just give us a little overview?
Sure. So actually, Global Strays is not adoption, foster, animal welfare nonprofit. What we do is we support animal shelters in underserved areas of the world, and then we also support communities in underserved areas of the world with spay and neutering free of charge, animal welfare education. We have our own curriculum on the 5 freedoms of animal welfare that we teach to school children in Bogota, Colombia, in Nicaragua, and in Liberia, Africa, in the capital city of Monrovia. And this is our own curriculum that we came up with. And then we also have a working horse program in Nicaragua for horses that carry the agricultural production and heavy loads all day long, and these horses have never seen a veterinarian in their entire lifetime. So we go in with a man named Dr. Tapia, and we see about 50 horses in one community a day, and we give them the first veterinarian care they've ever received, whether that's the tetanus vaccine, whether that's wound cleaning, or we give them dental. We have a machine that does the dentistry and the hoof care. We have a farrier that does the hoof care. So this program is really important because I was always a dog and cat person until I went to Nicaragua. I just never had any experience with horses. And to see the sadness and these horses that were falling apart and emaciated and could barely stand up, and in some of these countries, you can't turn your back. So, we do community-based programs, and we also help animal shelters. And a lot of the animal shelters we partner with have foster programs and adoption programs, and we support those. And there's so many organizations in New York City and beyond that you can foster from, and so much need everywhere. I think that there's need everywhere. I think that I look at the world, I look at myself, and I look at the world as, myself as more of a global citizen. And I think that, wherever it's taking place, there's need, and it's important. So.
Thank you. That's really beautiful work. You mentioned probiotics earlier, Dr. Rahm, and I know gut health is becoming a really important topic these days for everyone, right? For humans, we're learning that our gut is like our second brain. So what can you share with us about the importance of gut health for our dogs?
So I'm going to go back to detoxification and talk about the microbiome of the GI tract and how important it is to the heart and the brain of animals and of humans. So I have a 37-year-old horse, and I can tell you one of the most important things about horses that should apply to dogs that people don't understand is they actually do need certain types of trace minerals to help them detox, which can help the microbiome along with pre and probiotics. We have a product called Anagreens that have pre and probiotics in it, and then also different types of grains. You guys probably know this, some of the grains are not great in huge amounts for animals, right? But like beets, for example, which is not a grain but a vegetable, it is good for dogs. And it's very healthy, but I would tell people one thing you need to look at, we have Pure Clean Pets, which helps detox, put the trace minerals back into the microbiome of the body. That's very important for humans if you're trying to get rid of an autoimmune disorder or cancer or diseases. You've got to detox the body by doing that and then support it. So a lot of times people will focus on the microbiome, and because doctors and scientists like me have talked so much about pre and probiotics, that's the focus, and those are very important to dogs. But also remember to detox your dogs. So they need to have these different trace minerals that will help them get rid of things when they're sick. There's so many toxins in the land, air, and water, and we have to protect our animals. I don't care which religious or political side you're on in life. The truth is they're being exposed to pollution everywhere. So when viruses happen, for example, when we all went through the pandemic, there was this debate about whether it applied to animals, and let me just assure everyone, your animals are affected regardless of what happens, right? They have fungus, parasites, everything. So please remember to give trace minerals and detoxification to your dogs while you're also giving pre and probiotics. And make sure the pre and probiotics you're giving your animals are actually a good quality and not something where a company's just trying to make money instead of really trying to help, animals and dogs in their lives.
Absolutely, you're speaking my language. I'm a hot yoga teacher. I'm all about detoxification for us and for our animals, and I think there's some really important messages here. All right, so if you have any additional questions for Dr. Christina or for Global Strays, you can find them after. And if you can just leave us with one quick takeaway, can you just leave us with some information on how people can learn more about Global Strays?
Sure. So we have the opportunity to sponsor a dog today, and you get to take home your dog on a postcard, and we're going to update you about your dog. These are real dogs that are at our partner shelters in Central America, and they're waiting to be adopted there, and they have quite the story. So I really recommend, all you got to do is pick the dog you like, read their story, and scan the QR code and give the donation. We're asking for either a monthly donation starting at $5 if you want to sponsor the dog for the entire year, or a $20 to $25 donation if you want to just sponsor it one time, and we're going to email you and update you with that dog. So please consider sponsoring these dogs that really need help with food and shelter from these amazing organizations. By the way, all of them I've been to in person multiple times, and I speak to all week long. These are not just organizations that I've found on the internet.
So come find Liz Shafiroff later if you'd like to learn more about sponsoring these animals.
And we're globalstrays.org/donate if you want to donate.
All right. And Dr. Christina, could you just leave us with a couple of final words about pet health and how people can get in touch with you or with Bill and Coo?
Yes, so first of all, I just want everyone to know your dogs, again, they feel, they dream. So if you see your dogs having bad dreams, they're really having bad dreams. They get depressed, they get stressed. This is not an assumption, this is a fact. So please know that. So when you notice something's going on with your dog, it's because something else is happening that you don't know. Like I used to work with abused children, and I always tell the parents, you can tell something's wrong. With your animals, you can too, so don't ignore it. And I know people are wanting to hear science from me, but to me, the emotional and mental health of your animals are as equally important as spiritual and nutritional health. I just believe that about all of us. And you can find me at drchristinarahm.com or Bill and Coo. It's on Amazon. The Root brand sells it. We actually have sold to 80 countries so far. We do love to work with organizations like Global Stray, so I'm making a commitment to that because that's important. And Sheridan, can you raise your hand? She's our director of Bill and Coo, and we are looking to really help people all over the world. We go in, our organization does, through the Root brands, and we start economically going into countries, and then we choose philanthropies in each country and different things where we can contribute, because I am like you. I believe we are global citizens and we should be helping each other all over the world. So thank you so much. I enjoyed seeing you again, and I enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone for coming today and celebrating the National Dog Day with us. Thank you.
I'm here for International Pet Day with Freda. This is Freda. We got her 6 months ago. She had gotten hit by a car and broken her hip and back, and so she couldn't walk for a little bit, and we ended up foster failing her. We named her Freda because she was afraid of everything, but 7 months later, she's pretty brave. She's going to events, she's making friends, she's wearing clothes. Yeah, she's a really happy dog now.
Sweetheart, yes. This is Andy. She's Andy the Eco Dog. And she's a little girl. She's wearing the Eco Sustainability, all of the goals, the Eco Sustainability goals. And this is the Eco Sustainability palette of all of the colors that are involved in the Eco Sustainability goals. And this sweater was made by her Auntie Pat Schuler. And Andy herself is a rescue dog, and she comes from Texas. She was bred as a pure breed, but they found out that her mother noodles with a poodle. And in 4 weeks, so you see she's looking at her Auntie Pat. At 4 weeks, they put her out on the street, and I found her on an adoption site, and then flew her from Texas to New York to be my best buddy. So this is her Auntie Cat Schuler.
I'm her designer.
And that's her designer.
I keep her in clothes.
That's right. And in love. And so Andy's here to represent sustainability as a puppy and as a fashionista. So we're thrilled to be here.
I'm here today because I really like the cause for the dogs, and I've always loved animals. This is my 3rd Min Pin, and I wanted to do something special for her for National Pet Day. So we came here to Queens from Connecticut because she is my queen. This is Storm. So Storm is a rescue, and I got her about 7 years ago. And it was just very important to me to get a rescue because I love Min Pins, and I think it's more important to adopt.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, the pet lady, and we are here celebrating National Pet Day for an I Woof You event at Chateau Le Woof in LIC. And we're here with an artist, Michael, from Lo Mein Productions. So tell us a little bit about Lo Mein.
We create cute, and the concept came about with the dog here, Saki the sad dog. Basically, after reading an article during the years of the early 2000s where people were buying large breed dogs and not knowing about them and discarding them, and I thought, how sad. So I created the image of Saki the sad dog in behalf of those animals losing their homes and wanting to be adopted. And that's how Saki the sad dog came about.
So cool, and such a beautiful message. And look at these beautiful little doggy boxes that Lo Mein Productions makes. And I want to show you what's inside. Everyone who attended today got one of these cute little prize boxes. So we have the little story of Saki the sad dog with a little tiny little portrait and a button, because who doesn't love a little flair, and a magnet. Woo! A nice strong magnet. Oh, and even a keychain. So, such cute things here. Where can people learn more about Lo Mein Productions?
Go to the Instagram, which is Saki, SAKI _ the sad dog. And there you can see the variety of different things that Saki is on, such as paintings, beanies, bucket hats, artwork, and t-shirts.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and stay tuned. We'll show you what else is going on here. And we're back. We're here at Chateau Le Woof with Tanya from Divine Canine. Hey, Tanya.
Hey there.
So there were some amazing prizes today for the I Woof You National Pet Day, and some of them were from Divine Canine, and I learned a little bit about their spritz and their paw care. Tanya, can you tell us a little bit about your line and some of the highlights?
Absolutely. So one of the things we're really passionate about is elevating the whole pet grooming category. And we really believe that it's all about the ingredients. All ingredients are not created equal, so even though the name might be identical, it's really more about the grade of the formulation. And so we work with a lab in the US that makes premium cosmetics and skincare for humans, and really repairing the microbiome and just the coat and body overall for holistic well-being. And then we also really love our paw sanitizer spritz, which is our bestseller. We are waging war on the Frito paw scent, not Nabisco, just the Frito scent. And this is a gentle, everyday spritz that's alcohol-free that you can use to gently be antifungal, antibacterial, and protect and moisturize the paws.
Awesome. So beauty from the inside, from the outside in. Yeah, love it. Where can people learn more about your company and about your brand and get some to try for their dog?
Sure. So we're on divinecanine.co, our website. We're also on Amazon. And if you're in New York, we are in about 20 stores, in independent stores right now. And we are at Chateau Le Woof, which is one of our favorite spots to go shopping.
Awesome. Now you got to check out that paw wax. Thank you. Dana Humphrey back here at Chateau Le Woof for I Woof You National Pet Day, and we're here with Grace Forster, one of the original NYC doggy moms, and her dog, Cleo. Can you tell us a little bit about Cleo?
Yes, thank you, Dana. It's so nice to be here. Wonderful event. Cleo is my little Chihuahua. She is 2.5 years old. I got her when she was a little over 1 year old, and she's really a pleasure. She's really a joy. She gets a lot of attention, and she's kind of with me 24/7, I hate to say, but yeah, we have a good life together, and she gets, as I said, she gets a lot of attention because she's tiny and cute. Right?
She's
tiny and cute.
She's absolutely adorable. She has her,
well.
of course. She has her nails done, and I love that you're matching today. And she won a lot of prizes this morning.
I am just so surprised. We won a small prize of a very nice harness, and then we won the grand prize. And I'm so happy because the products seem so interesting, the probiotics, and I'm very anxious to try the products.
Great. I can't wait to hear how it goes with the Bill and Coo products. And is there anything else you'd like to share with us today about your first time to Chateau Le Woof?
Yes, I will certainly be back. I can't believe I haven't been here before because my friends who come from Brooklyn took a long time to get here, and I took a ferry from 34th Street and got here in no time, and it was very, very pleasant. And it was nice seeing you, of course, after a little while. Yeah. And I will definitely be back here. And the people were so nice, and just had a very, very nice time today. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Winning didn't hurt either.
Well, Cleo's always a winner, and it's always nice to win.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, now we're here with Elizabeth from Global Strays. It's an amazing organization that works all around the world. So I'd love for Elizabeth, if you could just share a little bit with us about Global Strays and what you're doing here today at National Pet Day.
Sure. So Global Strays addresses the root of animal suffering in underserved communities worldwide. And we have a variety of different programs, all trying to help animals and end animal suffering. And I'm so excited to be here on National Pet Day with Bill and Coo and Dr. Christina Rahm. And it was so much fun to talk about animal health and, the diets that pets should be following and fostering, the importance of fostering animals and the challenges and all these great things. We had so much fun at Chateau Le Woof. Is that how you pronounce it? Chateau Le Woof. And it's a wonderful dog cafe. And I'm just so happy to be here. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
I know we touched on a couple of the programs that you have. What would you say is your most proud program that you have between the spay and neuter and the horse work that you do? Which program that helps the animals really hits home as helping the most?
I would think, when we offer spay and neutering free of charge to pet owners in impoverished communities is really important in terms of keeping down the stray animal population, which is insane in the countries we work. And also our animal welfare education program is pretty unique because we're teaching kids compassionate animal welfare and how to show compassion and how to better care for their pets. And then that's so important because they're bringing back the 5 freedoms of animal welfare, and they're bringing it back to their parents, and their parents are changing their perspectives on how they're treating their pets. So it's kind of like a ripple effect throughout the community. So I would say those.
Yeah, I love that you're focusing on the root of the issue, going to the spay and neuter first of all, and also to the kids, to the families, to the future, and to the youth. So thank you so much for all the work that you do internationally and here. And how can people learn more if they want to learn more about your organization and possibly donate?
Sure. So if you want to learn more, you can go to globalstrays.org. And then if you want to make a donation, it's just globalstrays.org/donate. And you can find us on Instagram at Global Strays. So it's pretty easy. So thank you so much, and we'd love to hear from you.
All right. Thank you. It's International Pet Day, and we are here with Dr. Christina Rahm, entrepreneur, veterinarian, and founder of Bill and Coo.
So, first of all, it was wonderful meeting you and your dedication to animals, which I think is just fantastic because they can't speak, on their own, and so they do, but in a different way. And so for animals, it's really important that they have the right nutrients and nutrition. And our pathways in animals and humans get blocked by toxins in the environment. So heavy metals, pollution, pesticides, different things people use, GMOs. So you really have to detox the animals. And I've focused a lot of time in my life on detoxing the environment, animals, and pets. Excuse me. And that continuous process is great. Like I just took a big breath of some stuff in the environment, even inside, that are cleaning solutions. And what people don't understand, there's toxins in those as well.
And the animals are exposed to those. So let's say you're doing pine sol on the ground, your dogs are on the ground, they're exposed to them. So you've got to really detox that out. We worked on a product called Pure Clean Pets that was really important to do that. Otherwise, you can do it naturally through certain pre and probiotics and vegetables, and then also certain vitamins and minerals that your dog really needs to get that stuff out. I really want people to understand that dogs do have feelings, that they emotionally, mentally, and physically are connected and spiritually, so everything matters just like in human beings. And it's hard for people to understand that. But nutrition is tied not just to physical health, but to emotional and mental health. So for the animals to really focus, for humans to focus on making sure the animal is happy and healthy and giving them the right amount of proteins, the right amount of vegetables, the correct vegetables. For example, you don't want to give a lot of potatoes, but sweet potatoes are better for them, right? You can give them broccoli, you can give them a little bit of avocado, but there's certain things like grapes you shouldn't give them. So I think people just being educated on that, it's really important. And then I do want the audience to really understand that dogs sweat through their feet. So if their feet are messed up, if you're not taking care of them, they can't get the toxins out of their bodies. They really cannot clean out. So you've really got to clean their feet as well. But use natural solutions and do not use things that contain toxins and things that could really hurt them. And that means some of the cleaning things, some of the shampoos that we use that don't have natural things in it are not good for animals. So I think it's all tied. Most people would think if it's about nutrition, why does it matter how I bathe the dog or what I use in my house? But it does, because again, those pathways can be blocked, and then the dogs don't get the proper nutrition even when you feed them right. So it's really important for you to pay attention to their surroundings.
I love that you have such a holistic approach from looking at the mind, body, and spirit of animals from head to tail, and it's really important. And you mentioned some vegetables. Are there just a couple of other vegetables you might be able to mention in addition to the sweet potato that can help detoxify for our pets?
Yes, beets are very, very good for dogs. Also, broccoli is good for dogs. And again, I mentioned the avocado a little bit, but not too much of the avocado. Very, very good for animals. A lot of the greens are, but I'll say this, there's certain things that are like chlorophyll. They can be good in the right amount, but if you give them the wrong type of those, it will actually cause a reverse reaction, which is why in the different formulations I work on, it also matters where you source it. It's kind of like, do you want, and I don't mean this rudely, but do you want to go get a grass-fed hamburger from an animal that has been treated without GMOs and without a ton of vaccines, or do you want to go buy a hamburger? I'm not trying to talk bad about McDonald's, but from McDonald's it uses different things and not just even meat, but puts a lot of fillers. Your animals need to pay attention to that too, but they can't. So that's up to us. Like, we're responsible for that. And another thing I tell people is, we love nuts, we love chocolate. Dogs can't handle having a lot of that or any of that really in their diet. So again, it's paying attention to the grains that they should take that are good for them, but also paying attention to things that are not good for them. And it's really important that we look at both areas.
Thank you for giving our animals a voice. It's really special work that you do, and a lot of people use this word holistic, but I feel like you're really bringing it to the table with your immense background, and thank you for making this line and for including pets' welfare in every step of the process. How can people find out more about you and your products if they're interested?
We do have human products as well. We started with human products and skincare because your skin is your biggest organ. And I do want to say this, there's a product called Kodo for animals, because a lot of the flea and tick medication you put on animals is not healthy for them. So Kodo is a natural product that protects their coats against the environment and against things that really shouldn't be there, like parasites and worms and different things that are toxins. They can find me at Dr. Christina Rahm or at therootbrands.com or DRC Ventures. We have 22 brands, but I did start with human health, and then I immediately went into animal health because I feel like we are here to take care of them. And I think that the mark of a good human and of a good society is taking care of those that don't normally have the voice to express everything right away. And animals are just precious souls. And I will say this, my postdoc was from Harvard and Cornell, I was criticized a lot throughout my career for my holistic approach, but now I've just dived in, and I'm older now, so I'm like, you know what, this is how I feel, and this is what I want people to understand. We're a whole person, and we have to look at everything, and not just and a whole animal. You don't want to ignore their souls and their spirits and their emotions. That's really important.
1000%. Thank you so much.
Thank you.